Well. Welcome back again. Hope you've enjoyed my tales. The tales from a long time ago. I'm filled with nostalgia, telling such tales. Certainly things have changed here in the shadows. For better or worse, that's for you to decide. I can only tell you my tale. How things happened. How a group of nobodies became lords of the shadows and changed its history, its direction, for good or worse. Bloodshed, destruction, violence. These things marked their existence in the shadows. Maybe they weren't the ones to bring about much of this, but certainly at the heart of many things that happened. Events will come to shape history. So, before my friend comes, I go from this place. Perhaps I'll share with you one last tale. One last story for you. A little bit more. What happens. Where things go. And then, well, you'll have your own tales to tell. But until then, come now. Sit down. Drinks on me this time. One more tale to tell. One more story to give. Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Buccaneers and Shackled Sea. I hope everybody's having a fine Wednesday. It is indeed the finale of the show. So if you've been joining us since the beginning, welcome. If you're joining us somewhere in the middle, hey, we'll have plenty of time to catch up on the old stuff now, but honestly, certainly the stories have been fun, the adventures have been great, and I've been very happy with the, everybody that's been with us in the crew. I think, before we kind of get started here a little bit, I do want to give kind of shout-outs to the people, not only the people that are here, of course I've always given shout-outs to them, but to those of us that really couldn't make it, or, retired from things. Henry, who played Jacub, was very fun to have around, did a really good job stepping in, kind of mid-season, mid-show, kind of filling in a lot of blanks. I think I will always give shout-outs to, of course, Umber, who left us very early on, played Quentin. Quentin was a very fun person to have, did a good job. Unfortunately, just things happened, couldn't join, and, we never knew if Umber could come back, and that's why I always left Quentin in a nebulous area, but, it was there. And, of course, who actually retired, Lightning, playing Nat and Tilly's, did a really nice job. It was very fun to have around. Just, again, had to take a step away. So for those three, thank you. Certainly the last couple of weeks, Henry's schedule changed. Couldn't join us anymore. With a shame. But we've carried on to the end here. And for those of us, our three, I don't want to say lost compadres, because they're just somewhere else. They're not dead or anything, but three lost characters to the adventure. May we remember them, and they will have their, resolutions as part of the story. If you did miss last week, there was a large ahead between the crew and, of course, Yaalkol. And there were some revelations about history, about life, about things, discussions, and decisions. And certainly those will shape Shackles for years to come. The very words that were said upon that day and the things that were discussed. And certainly will have ramifications. Anyway. So. Question for me then is, do I just jump into the full thing, or is there anything, I guess what we're going to do kind of here is, I want to have the war and kind of narrate the war and the effects that you've set up for the war. And we'll talk about that. And then we'll kind of discuss, like, a little bit about what characters' plans are for post the war. And I'll kind of begin to give epilogues for them and for the other members of your crew and everybody else. And we'll kind of play it by that. I'm not sure how long all this will take. It might be very quick, it might be very long, depending on the kind of stories that we will tell here for the characters. So, again, we had discussed this very heavily, and I'm going to tell you, mechanically, not story-wise, that's why we've kind of decided this, we kind of agreed to step away from running the court peril and attack on Caravan Bonefist, because it's 2 dungeons just filled with dudes that, honestly, this team of characters are really good at killing just dudes. It's one of the reasons a lot of adventure paths, I've got to be honest, don't have enemies that are just dudes. Because they tend to be really easy to kill.
Yeah, especially dudes that are non-magical dudes. You know,
his alchemists are the only threat. But as soon as you fight the alchemist, I thought about it. And I'm like, you can just like resist energy, fire, or whatever energy.
Dude, just your average man is weak.
Yeah,
weird.
And he's not even your average man. He's like a super high level man. But it doesn't matter because you're still just a man in front of casters.
A man in front of.
What is the measure of a man?
Basically gods.
What's the thing is, like, yeah, he's technically
and we're a
higher level.
caster-like party.
You're a bunch of spellcasters and, you know, people that are very strong. He's just kind of like a fighter, I think, which is pretty good for dealing some damage out, but it's sort of like the same kind of damage level as a Yaalkol. Yaalkol does really good damage, but Yaalkol also gets a lot of buffs and bonuses from the rest of the team and stuff like that, and, you know, help. And then you have some, you know, it's solid attack character rather than spellcaster striker, spellcaster buffer, and spellcaster or just striker, which is and then, you know, buff person versus buff person. In the meantime, when you've got like 2 fucking strikers just dealing extra damage and a buff caster just buffing themselves or everybody else, yeah, it's not good.
I mean, yeah, like it's just. Sadly, Dudes of Swords needs minions with magic.
A man can only do so much.
Without minions with magic, like, that's D&D, bro. A Dude of a Sword's nothing. Especially at level 15. You need magic.
Or, like, it's like just as bad as when you were fighting Harrigan, where the only spellcaster in his team, you run into him in a 10x10 room.
Alone! And you're just dead.
I'm like,
oh man.
I'm like, you walk into his room and he's right there. He can't escape. There's nothing you can do to not murder this man.
He's not gonna jump off and like run away.
His room was like a tower without windows that was really big.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Have Featherfall loser.
No, he couldn't fit through the windows. The thing.
Yeah, they're like arrow slit windows. So
just squeeze.
That's polymorph self.
Yeah.
Turn into a ladybug. Just hope you don't get hit.
Regardless, you know, it's some of the things that like it's good and bad of these adventure paths is that you do have a lot of statistics, you've got a lot of maps and stuff, but certainly, yeah, they're not always as interesting and balanced as you'd like them to be. And finding a way to fix that or rebalance that, not always easy. And certainly in an adventure like this, where it's all just dudes, where I can't just be like, here's a different monster. No, I would have to build NPCs from scratch. So, I didn't want to do that, honestly. Anyway, so, you did a pretty good job of uniting some forces of the Shackles. Not to say that Bonefist doesn't have allies and support and ships and stuff too. It's not you're vastly overpowering, but certainly you did a lot of work to overpower. You got a a bonus bit of ships coming to your from the north from Absalom. You got some extra military training, which certainly was probably help out. You had a good number of allies from throughout the Shackles that would be willing to assist. And honestly, you got some weapon supplies from Alkenstar directly shipped with it, some extra guns and stuff that, you can probably have some, more cannons and muskets and stuff to fire. Nothing special, just cheap numbers. And it becomes a numbers game at that point in time. So, it isn't a difficult thing to think that the Battle of Jeopardy Bay, we'll call it, is one that would be decisive for your forces in the end. Not without losses, not without destruction, not without a large battle. But you have united enough forces to force what's left of, Bonefist and his allies back into Port Peril and crush the opposition. And then you, through various events, organized enough forces to basically have invasion forces. Land at Port Peril, fight your way in, take out his allies within the city, and of course, attack his fortification. Which, I've got to be honest, you leading the charge into the fortress in Port Peril, the fortress of the Hurricane King, would definitely result in an eventual crushing and defeat of Karavak Bonefist. I can just say that certainly he will meet his end by your blades, by your weapons, by your guns, by your spells. He would fight to the end, and he certainly did. There was actually options to perhaps work him down, but I thought of a few, but no one ever went in any of those directions, so...
I think we wanted to kill him.
You did kind of want to kill him.
On principle, the fact that he was obstinate.
It's the unfortunate part of the Skulls and Shackles adventure path, is Karavak Bonefist really isn't a villain until this book. And then they're like, he's the main villain, I guess, sure?
Fight this guy now. He's got a sword.
He's got a sword.
He has
Not
a sword,
a sword.
sword and a weird hand.
His friends make bombs. Watch out.
He's scared of the sword. It does 1d8 plus 30 damage.
Oh no, it looks like you have a way to reduce all damage done to you. Looks like I'm screwed. Bonefist out.
Yeah, I mean, like, his stat block, it's mean, but it's not...
He failed his will save. He is slow. He can only take one attack per round.
I mean, honestly, there's the possibility, like, Jacob's got a lot of good spells to, like, throw out there and really...
Hide and slow, it's game over.
Yeah. So, it's... he could make will saves. He does have plus 14. But...
All it takes is one fail.
His weapon only does a d6 plus 5. I'm really not...
What a loser.
What? Wait, there's
hold
no
on.
way!
No, you didn't just say that to me. That's.
You gotta tell me though. Does his hand do something weird?
It does. He does have,
Green, grab the stat block. Let us just
Give us
think
like a
about it.
rot.
His hand
it's really hard to... It's a really big, complex spell block.
That's the session now.
He's
We're
an
just
18th level.
bullying.
He's an 18th level character. He does have 34 AC,
What's his
which is
name?
a good chunk. Karavak Bonefist.
I mean, I don't
Okay.
care about AC, nor do like most high-level spells.
He does have evasion, freedom of movement. His pistol does more damage because it also does negative energy damage. It does D8 plus 6 plus 1d6 negative energy. 19
Oh my
to 20
God.
times 4.
He has 10 levels in like one of the absolute worst prestige classes
He's
ever.
inner sea pirate, so he can sneak attack.
It's
Oh my
terrible.
goodness, you're done for, dude. He's sneaking attack.
No,
He's in.
but that prestige class is so bad.
They gave it to him.
Holy shit.
So
He doesn't even get full bad progression.
So when we picking up just after the fight. We doing something with the fight.
I think the thing is we're kind of moving to stuff post the battle itself. Like,
Yeah.
with Karadak Bonefist defeated, certainly there can be a call for victory. A cheer across the fleet. Lots of death, destruction, and loss was certainly felt throughout both sides of it. And the damage that has been dealt by this war is perhaps more, or as much as something like the Cheliax fleet would have wished to do this much damage. You know, that kind of thing. The losses, the damage, the destruction are massive. But Bonefist and his regime has been ousted, and certainly there's victory and celebration. All of you are now finding yourselves in a city afterwards. What's the first thing all of you would do? Let's start with Yaalkol. Bonefist defeated. What is your first thing you wish to do?
I'm going to prepare my ship. I'm going to basically the way I'm logistically trying to figure it out is I want to drop off as much of the crew back off the island of MTIs, hire a crew that can get me to my next destination, and then take the ship out of the shackles.
Mm-hmm.
So that's Yaalkol's short-term goal. So in the real short term, I'm just like getting the ship ready. It's been sitting in port for a little while, so I'll probably just like whatever it takes to get things ready, and then I'm going to go say goodbye to the crew, as it were.
I will probably, in this point in time, ask for both Myste and Rio if you want, or you want one or the other.
Okay. So Rio's a bit more complicated, but Myste, sorry, I'm eating a Kit Kat.
Acceptable.
Very tasty.
That's actually unacceptable. How dare
fuck
you?
you.
Food?
I still have some
straw.
leftovers from dinner. I can still eat, or I'll put
Kit
them away
Kats
later
are
on.
tasty. Fuck you. Myste would, because basically having a short now that a new queen sits upon the throne, so that negotiations for some form of peace can now begin, would start arranging that deal she made to exchange a prisoner for peace terms.
Okay.
She would, of course, go to Tessa with this.
Yeah.
And inform her of it.
Okay. Revia, what would you do once the battle is won?
Yeah, I will find a certain item from this bonefish vault that I plan to give to someone. And I would have had an item commissioned to be made that I will go pick up as well.
Okay.
Doing some laundry duty stuff.
Okay. Chester.
I'm gonna plan a party.
Okay. You're going for the very good route of like you're ready for a celebration and party.
The rest of us are actual jobs. Chester just wants to party.
Chester's just drug into this kind of thing, so
I think after all the losses and everything, we need to chill for a minute and
True.
have a little fun.
Like half of Port Peril has probably been burned down.
Oh, I have to go check my parents' house.
Yeah, you should probably make sure your parents are fine.
Oh, I probably no. My parents are fine. They probably we took them over to the Isle of Empty Eyes. Probably. That'd been
Probably
a
evacuated
fairly
some
reasonable
time
thing to
ago,
do.
Yeah, I mean, you knew we were going to be attacking here. It's like, guys,
Yeah.
it's not going to be safe for a little bit. Take a vacation.
Come to our
Yeah.
tropical paradise where you can look at dinosaurs. We treat
mean,
them like
look-
cattle.
Just
We-
don't try to pet them.
Well, except the young. That one's friendly. He's being domesticated.
I
Indeed.
still wouldn't
Finest-
try to pet the.
the-
He's being domesticated.
Finest
isn't
steaks and all the
dead.
shackles, Triceratops.
Dude, it probably would be pretty good though.
I imagine it might not be edible.
Oh, it would be edible.
Maybe?
We eat some nasty shit in real life.
I don't know. It could be like that one shark that's just full of ammonia. You know, maybe Triceratops are 90% ammonia. You don't know. They're all dead.
You gotta treat it like you do that
I would
shark
take the
to make
risk.
it edible, and it just has to be processed in like really bad, terrible
Yeah.
ways to make it
Maybe it's
edible.
like a puffer fish.
Yeah. Oh no.
It's poisonous except for this one area of
Yeah.
its body.
Except for this tiny piece of meat. Can't eat any of it. Instant death.
I'm gonna say, I'm pretty sure it's probably not like pufferfish. Just
Just
that one I think is outside
It's a
this.
scaly cow.
Just
It's
steal it.
probably fairly edible because there's no reason why we would.
It's
suspect
like
it.
lizard.
I don't, yeah, and while there are plenty of edible lizards,
We
however,
eat crocodiles.
a lot of them are not very tasty.
Crocodile's pretty good, or alligator's pretty good.
Look, that's what I'm going for. It's probably edible.
Probably alligatory, right? It's like a cow alligator.
Anyway,
Alligator.
Alligator?
so certainly the deals to be made with the return of a prisoner and peace on that end can start to be working in there. You can set up the things. A grand party can be planned by Chester, and you're cool. It doesn't take you long to assemble everything while everybody's pretty busy. So you will be the first one that has your opportunity to do something. You're gonna say goodbye, you said?
Me, yeah. So, I would once the things are started like slowing down, I'm gonna go find Revia.
Revia's probably the easiest one to find. Probably
I'm
busy.
already coming to the ship.
Yeah.
After I pick up my items.
So you probably come to me before I'm ready to go because I don't super
Yeah.
understand how they put the ship together. Someone's walking me through the steps I need to tell people to do. Because I am a decent captain, but the thing is I don't pick things up very quickly. So they're more just writing it down for me. And so I'm just like, okay, you gotta hoist the main, and then the main's first, right? That's why it's the main, right? Yeah, I got it right. And Yaalkol's basically just talking himself out loud the entire steps as you walk on the ship, and they'll turn and say, "Oh, I was gonna come find you."
Yeah, I figured I would catch you before you ended up leaving. So you don't have to stay if you don't want to any
I won't.
longer.
I
But
think it's better if I go.
probably, yeah. So I got this. I had this item made for us. It's a ring, but it's like a the sending spell that we use on occasion.
Yeah, the one that like when you talk in my head, and I can
Yeah.
say something back.
Yeah, it'll let you speak to me whenever you need.
Yaalkol just sits there quietly for a moment, and
I
he'll
don't-
like,
You don't need to use it anytime, but figured it's best to just have it in case, right? If you need help or anything.
yeah, probably. I like that. Yeah.
So it's a pair of rings. It's just like a sending spell back and forth.
So I'll take the ring and slide it on my little lizard finger.
Yeah, I had to sneakily find your ring measurements from Concubar. It's a little difficult to get someone to make a ring so big.
Yeah, that's what Conkavar kept saying. He said that's why he likes to get me accoutrement, he calls them. Like things on my head. So the guy I do things when I wear them on my hat better. I don't really understand fashion. It's really, really weird.
I'm in the same boat as you. I don't really understand it that much either. But I figured it's best you get this. So if you need any help, or just if you need a little bit of advice or anything, being a captain or sailing a ship, it's best to be at a moment's notice.
I probably won't need any advice because I learned how to be a captain from the best sailor that ever sailed on the Shackles. But I'll probably call anyways when I get lonely.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Oof.
Revia.
No problem, Yaalkol. Stay safe out there, and well, just don't die, I guess. It's not really being safe in our.
You think you could kill me? So many have tried. I just he swings his hammer sort of haphazardly and says, "Hell, I've tried to sometimes. No one succeeded yet."
No, and I don't think anyone will.
Oh, hopefully someone someday. But not today, not tomorrow, not soon.
I would say you don't want to go old and gray, but I don't know if your scales really change color.
I don't either. My dad's still alive, and he seemed like he was pretty vital. But he also made like a deal with somebody, so I really don't have any idea how old I can get. So yeah, we're just gonna sort of figure that out. Yeah.
Deals with gods. It's a little cumbersome in the end, I think.
Yeah. I'm looking to get rid of mine. I think that's my first stop. I have a little bit of a... It's like a sword hanging on the edge of a rope, sort of hanging over me, you know? This deal I made. I have to go do that thing. Go into hell. I'm gonna go find some people in Galt, I think. My sister, she does bureaucratic work there, said that her boss went to the final cut. I don't know what that means, but she says that they're looking for they're setting up a new government or something. And whenever they set up a new government, there's a lot of jobs. So I'm gonna go work there, get some gold for a little while, see if I can hire some folk, and go down to hell and steal a devil lord's memory, I believe. Yeah. So that should be pretty fun.
Fucking forgot that was a thing we did.
Once I'm done with that, then I'll probably come back here. I think that'll be enough time though I'm gone. I expect that. What do you think? That'll be like 6 to 9 months, right? Probably somewhere around there. I don't know.
Just take it every 6 to 9 months at a time, I think. Take it slow.
Thanks, Revia.
Yeah. I forgot about that whole taking a memory from a devil thing that it talks
Oh, don't worry about me. I've had to do worse things. What's the worst that could happen?
I don't think you want me to answer that.
No, please don't.
Yeah, I won't. Well, look, at least your internal soul is safe because you have Pharasma's blessing. So she will grab that.
Well, as I understand it, I may have made her a little bit mad when I was doing some stuff and getting myself. Seems that she's an apolitical kind of lady. She doesn't like when I get into politics. So I think it's better that I'm not doing this. Sort of gestures over towards Port Peril. I think I was better as a pirate, anyways. I was never meant to be a king. I got too big for my britches and thought for a moment that I could make that I was meant to make the decisions. I think I'm better when I'm just lizard at the sea.
I think
Captain
we all are.
Yaalkol, I don't mean to interrupt, but the tides are with us if we wish to take sail.
I look over at Revia and I say, I don't think I'll ever do anything amazing as what we've done these last couple of years. I was kind of nothing when we met. And now I'm going to be sailing away, a captain, and I'm just grateful. So, thank you, Revia. You stood by me since the beginning.
Let's hope we didn't peak so young.
Maybe we'll die. You know, there's always that. Anyways, as you heard, the seas are with us, so I'm going to be on my way. Do me a favor and don't let them make this place so boring. Misty, she's got good ideas, and she'll probably help let you guys get rich, but don't let them make it boring.
Oh, I'm not going to let the shackles be boring. Don't worry.
That's good, because if you do, then I'm going to have to pull together some sort of pirate crew, come and just do some heists, and cause a lot of ruckus, and we both know that I will do that and be obnoxious about it. But if we do end up meeting in, I guess we'll finally get to see who were the one on the beach. And then Yaalkol will give you a little smirk. Very un-Yaalkol-like.
Yeah, I guess you could test it out sometime. Once we're both at top form. Nothing holding back. You
need some months of training on you. You're good. You're a good sort with the sword, but I think you need to make your magic abilities a little bit better. You're gonna need every edge you can. I'll miss. All right, Revia. I'll see you later. All right, you lazy bastards. Take the thing down and do the other thing. Where's my list?
You heard the captain. Come now. Step to it.
Good luck, Yaalkol. You don't need it, but still.
I never needed it. I always had good people.
As you're kind of like also leaving, Concobar's gonna come over, put his take his hat down, kind of put it up on his chest. Myste Gavet. It has always been an honor and a pleasure to serve with you. I hope that perhaps one day we both meet. I'll ensure the captain remains safe and sound.
That is less reassuring than I think you think it's meant, Concobar, but I'm sure you'll keep him out of trouble. At least your magic will.
He's gonna actually kind of wink and he's gonna get this. You'll be able to notice he kind of gives this wink. He's like, "I won't be the only." Let's put his hat on the head and turn back towards setting the crew towards the seas. One last stop at the Island of Empty Eyes, the Dragon's Roost, and then the waves themselves.
I actually had a small scene that Yaalkol will do before he leaves the shackles. I know we were going to do other stuff. I don't know how we were going to pace this. If you wanted to do like,
I was going to have something happen at the Island of Empty Eyes with you.
Okay, then we'll wait for that. I want to push things forward. I wanted to. I just want to make sure that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And in the meantime, of course, there will be a large celebration. Certainly, actually, Chester, your celebration is met well. You managed to organize something of like a, almost like an independence festival, or something like some kind of big festival in town. Help cheer up things. Certainly, it does a lot to lift the spirits of the people and everyone there. Now, granted,
Sorry.
Revia and Myste are busy with Tessa and a lot of the other major players organizing things, rebuilding the Pirate Council and stuff like that. And probably understand that Chester's doing a good job, taking care of the masses, honestly, and the large amount of people that are, maybe need something to reassure that this victory was worth something. You going to say something, Chester?
I also want to send word out to the that dance school.
It's gonna take a while.
That'll probably take a while, so
Yeah.
you're probably not going to get anybody coming in for, the celebration.
Yeah, no, because I want to invite them to the island because I figure we'll probably have a separate party for us
Yeah.
to celebrate, and I want to invite them, but also for my idea of wanting to start a dance fight school. So I just wanted to put it out there that I'm putting those feelers that way.
Yeah, we can say that you've done that. That could be something you did in the interim before the big war, honestly, and started sending feelers out. That doesn't have to be something post-war.
Okay.
So, Myste, Revia, you're kind of in the heart of reestablishing government in the Shackles. Is there anything either of you want to do in response to this as things are coming together?
I don't think so. I think there's just a lot of bureaucracy.
Okay.
I am proficient in bureaucracy. I took points in it.
Fair. I don't know if there'd be anything interesting with Myste aside from arranging a very secret deal between a newly crowned queen and a foreign government.
Yeah. Certainly, you'll be able to arrange not only with the connections that you've made, but with various groups, and set some things up.
The position that probably still doesn't like me.
Yeah.
Eventually,
Eventually, all of you will head towards the island of Empty Eyes, for a little bit of relaxation to recover from yourselves from this. Because, granted, all of you, say for now, Yakul's taking a step away, are involved with the government of Shackles, but there's also time to recover your own fleets and repair your own ships and rebuild your own things that have been lost. Once things feel established enough that you can take that step back. And cool, as I said, you will arrive first by days. And certainly, you can, what your plans was to offload crew?
Yeah, basically. Sorry, I don't wipe. Right when you asked me.
Everybody's eating something.
So, sorry, the ice cream was calling me.
I understand this.
So when I get there, I wanted to give everybody who's like a member of the crew an option to stay in the Shackles if they wanted to. And so basically, I'm offloading anybody who doesn't want to come with me for the whole journey, who just wanted to stick with me while to come here, and then I'm filling the crew back up with anybody else who wants to come with me, and then I'm going.
You will discover that it's probably something that is very unnoticeable to you. Is that when you kind of present that to everybody, Conkabar will basically say, "Captain, we are merely here to pick up some more folks. No one here is departing. Those of us who have remained aboard the ship, those of us who wish to depart did back in Port Peril, with plans to spend time with the others. There was word of your leaving, and of course your bravery. You have me and others with you. Albert, elderly.
Hell yeah, Albert. Yaalkol, it seems moved in the moment, but
As Albert will kind of pat his chest a little bit, kind of shake his head. Elder Lane is the wizard, the spellcast you picked up, who's working under
The rogue wizard fighter?
Yeah, the rogue wizard who's working under Jacub will be like, you'll need someone to be a ship's mage.
Hell yeah, we will.
Actually, 2 people that you recognize but didn't really hear a lot from will be there too. And one will speak up. It's Serena and Regina. The 2 members of the bands of Razors that didn't really do a lot, because they always kept to themselves doing their jobs. And one's going to say, like, with the commander, with Myste, parting ways with you. Honestly, we got the sense that she's probably going to be retiring soon, and you might still need some help from trained Marines. We figured we'd stay on with you. If you'd have us.
Of course. All are welcome.
And of course, a unusual member that you'll see here is someone from the first ship. Miss Loghain, Slippery Sly Loghain will be there. Who had gone for Dragon's Fury.
The 180. We love it.
Who had been kind of like the one that you had like saved, that she kind of was against you, kind of angry. She ended up going to the Dragon's Fury to kind of separate herself out. But then, like, when she heard about this, she volunteered to join. She's been like, look, you gave me another chance, and I did find much more of a home with Cog, Captain Cog. But when I heard you were leaving, I figured, you know, maybe it's an opportunity for me to change things. Shackles might be changing, things might be going on. I've never been much for that kind of stuff, and sounds like an adventure with you would be pretty fun.
Well, you're damn right there, Loghain. Where we're going, there's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of danger. A lot of fun. We're glad to have you here. It's a pretty good crew. I like this crew.
I will note, you will also have Tim's Nibbles will be there too. I mean, he'll probably like pop up on your shoulder in his like he's a beaver of like in like I guess adventurer outfit. You know, is the best way to describe it. It's a weird thing.
Oh god, I can't remember. I remember laughing for like a minute straight when you introduced this character. Good. This is the best crew ever.
Yeah.
I need to find a talented artist. I need to describe this crew to them and have them draw this.
Others that will be joining you, there'll be a familiar-looking, very, very old human man with his coffin.
No fucking way!
You'd be like, where the winds take you? Captain said you might need some help.
The Rat Man has to join him, right? Aren't they friends?
Yeah, I think the Rat Man came with him.
We got him.
The Rat Man's to be like, yeah, you know, Captain seems like he can take care of himself. He's got some good friends, and, you know, we figured, you know, new adventures. You know, he's settling down a lot more. A lot less, you know, furiously, like, I'm a shark. Anyway.
I'm glad he's settling down. He's a good man. He deserves to rest for a little while. God damn, I love that man.
Hello, I've arrived here because I didn't want to be on a ship that's cursed anymure. This woman's talking up. Yeah.
Honestly, that's really fair. That's kind of really fair. I have nothing else to say to that. Yeah, holy shit. Yeah, I wouldn't want to live on that ship either. Alright. Well, we have a pretty awesome crew
There is one more who asked for approval to join your crew. Seems like, well, some things have happened and we had some trouble getting out of the shackles. Figured someone was leaving. We did provide something. Might be interesting.
Okay. I am intrigued.
A very slippery-looking halfling will kind of slink out of the shadows and be like,
this fucking guy!
hello again. Nice to see you. I know we parted on good ways and stopped our deals before. Harrigan's dead and all, but had some trouble escaping from some old bills. I heard you're finding a way to, well, steal something that's a little difficult. Well, I happen to hear some rumors that maybe you want to learn about. If you'd be interested.
I think I might. Well, I didn't think I'd be saying this, but welcome to the crew.
Sounds great.
Motley one for that one. That fact. The fuck is this crew?
So, you ever heard of a little place called Aslanti? Aslan.
The name sounds familiar. I think I've heard someone say something about it, but I don't really know what it is. Tell me more.
He'll explain to you about, like, this rumor of a powerful artifact from an ancient empire that's said to be able to peer into anyone's dreams across the multiverse.
Well,
Maybe
I'll
even
be
enough
damned.
to. But that's an adventure in and of itself, going to Aslan, as Yaalkol goes off with a motley crew of adventurers on some kind of crazy thing and kind of begins to head off that way. Everybody else, though, once Yaalkol set sail, left the place. Also, I will note your wife came along. She decided to come along and, give up her crew and
Your actual wife.
your wife who has decided that
I will explain to her.
she's decided that she has to prove her worth to you. It's a lot more than just beating her in combat. She's now is under the assumption that your society is not only combat, but there's other things. So she's figuring out ways to prove her worth to you.
This is insane, but you're welcome. Come along.
She's a barbarian.
You should probably meet my sister at some point. She's in Galt. We'll stop by, I guess. Yeah, that's crazy. I love that. On my way out of the shackles, I will say, I will stop by a little island, by Port Peril, a little bar, in a little town, and I will steal their fucking deed, and I will tell them. This is the work of Captain Yaalkol, free captain. This deed is mine. I'll run out. I'll be like, that's not even. It's a copy for the wall. It's not the real one. And Yaalkol will ride off into the distance, quite proud of himself.
So the rest of you certainly will make it back to Dragon's Roost. A little quieter, for sure. You will all be aboard the Dragon's Fury, brought by Cog. Back to there. Cog kind of address the lot of you once you arrive and be like, look, Fury's been good to me. I don't speak much, just when the crew needs it. We need a boat to replace yours. I'm sure we can find something else. If you want us to.
I think I'll just, we haven't done much with Harrigan's old ship. I think we'll just, recommission it. Wanted to make it into a tavern as a point, but I feel like, I need a ship more than anything else.
Well, y'all have our swords if you need it. But with cool heading on. Doesn't feel as right anymore. I talked it over with the other captains. You got us. We're gonna go figure some stuff out on our own too. After all that's happened.
That's always been our way, Cog. Have a safe trip.
He'll offer you the one thing he knows how to offer. Can you give it?
A predator handshake.
A predator handshake.
I think Revia
Yeah.
is strong
You
enough
feel
to get one of
Yaalkol
those.
standing over
I
your
swift
shoulder.
action cast a spell that gives me 18 strength.
That's performance enhancing magic. This
I predator
handshake,
handshake him.
this handshake is shallow and untrue.
No, I shake his hand. I have 10 strength. It's fine.
He doesn't expect a lot from you, but he still gives you the handshake.
Yeah, sorry, I can't have strength as well. Okay, my stats are all pretty decent except strength.
Mm-hmm. Alright. So, it's quiet at Dragon's Roost. Certainly the town and city that you've built there is pretty bustling. There's still some trade coming in and out here and there. Not nearly as much as a lot of the major ports. Most of the stuff is things that just have been arranged with various people that live in the town here for ships to come in. But certainly just, you have effectively just one pirate vessel sitting there. The old Wormwood, which hasn't been used much. And things are quiet. First thing that happens is Jacub comes to you and basically gives them forgiveness. He has made plans to work with Mace's father, to go looking for his mother. He doesn't know how long that will take. He doesn't know what he's going to do afterwards. Maybe he'll come back. But he has the opportunity, and it sounds like she's still alive.
Just don't die on me, Jacob. I'd prefer you to be around. And alive.
So he'll head off. You'll get a note from Quentin. Now, Quentin had left the ship and just settled down into the Dragon's Roost. And didn't think much of it. Plenty of people from the ship kind of like came and went. And certainly a lot of that old crew did. But he talks about how it had been very difficult after everything that happened with Harrigan and stuff. And certainly, they had some pretty fearsome adventures. But, he never got to the sea like he wanted. The time we had on the ship was fun. It was, something that he might not give up. The good and the bad. But, certainly he's got to find something new. Something different. Something that he didn't lose when he was drug into this entire thing. So he's planning on taking a ship from Port Haol and heading to Absalom. Maybe somewhere else in the world. Find something new and different in his own ways. Maybe he'll come back someday, maybe he won't. He doesn't know.
Yeah, I mean,
Things will
safe
quiet down.
trips.
Chester, what is your plans now that things have quieted down?
My main plan is I want to start my dance fight school to start an elite fighting force for the Shackles.
Okay, so start working on that. And certainly there's a good opportunity to get ready for it. Revia, you're in charge of Dragon's Roost.
Well,
You were
my
the
wife
first
is.
mate. Well, yes, but I mean, you were the first mate of the Dragon's Promise. So, like, yes, you have your wife as basically governor of the island, but you are the head pirate now.
Yeah, that's true. I am. I will reaffirm with my wife what we're gonna do, and I assume she's fine with continuing the current situation.
She certainly has found that she enjoys company with you, even if whether or not there's anything like
We're not-
just
we're not-
platonic, you know,
We're
whether or
just-
not
It's a partnership, you know.
it's a partnership. I mean, it's sort of like there's a caring there, but it's not like, like it's just more like I like being around
She's
you.
not my
kind of thing.
wife, okay? Like, let's be straight. She's like, she's someone I made a deal with, and we're chilling.
I know, but I'm saying like you've grown close in a way that's more probably more akin to like probably not good friends.
Yeah.
You'd have an opportunity to do that, especially a lot of times around the Dragon's Roost and working together. You've had that opportunity to kind of develop at least a decent relationship.
Yeah, we're chilling.
Yeah.
Big chilling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But that's, the island's probably continuing its pace, right? There's no reason to stop. I'm probably spending less time at the Dragon's Roost, because as the days and months go by, I'm probably required more in Port Peril to, like, enact the promises I made, and...
Yeah.
There were a lot of promises made.
Yeah, and now I have to fulfill those without, the person that helped me make those promises there. So I have to convince Tessa. Which shouldn't be too hard. I'm pretty persuasive.
Myste.
Mm-hmm.
What is your plan? Now,
Myste will, because certain events have transpired, Myste will do one last sending to her brother, the Inquisitor.
Mm-hmm.
Now that things have settled, request a face-to-face meeting for the first time in about, 10 to 15 years.
It can be arranged at a neutral location.
Yeah. And then she will take some much-needed relaxation at, I guess, technically her second home now.
Mm-hmm.
Very obviously satisfied with the outcome of things, and perhaps glad she didn't have to kill someone she did deep down consider a friend.
Mm-hmm. Rio now has acquired, I'm going to say, a very potent magical item. Rio has a scroll of wish.
Mm-hmm.
Has some pretty powerful effects.
Rio will find a quiet spot somewhere on Dragon's Roost and request his companions and his friends, the people who have been by his side, for moral support for what he is about to do.
Certainly the ones from the original Chester, Revia, Cog,
There's
Rosie.
less of them nowadays.
Yeah, and
apparently.
Sandra will probably show up because they're the ones that can. A lot of them have disappeared to the wind, but these people that were with you from the beginning and encounter a lot of that can show up will.
Yeah. He does look very nervous and a little bit stressed. That cool demeanor he usually has, that sort of expressionless boredom look, that's pretty much gone at this point.
Mm-hmm.
As he stands there holding this piece of parchment that he can use to do the one thing he set out to do, which is revive the child he had lost. He will begin channeling the magic of the scroll and cast a wish to do that.
And certainly, the scroll will be successful, and a very confused child will return to the land of the living.
He is stunned for a good 5 to 10 seconds. Not sure if this is real or not. Before he will tentatively go and embrace his small child.
Very emotional, and honestly, it's a moment that everybody that's there probably can't but help but be teary. As everybody's kind of happy for you, one last person will kind of walk up. Snack. She's going to give congratulations to Rio and say greetings to everybody else. And inform them that her research and looking into things that she was doing, the reason that she came to the Shackles to begin with, it's time for her to leave. She met a few people that can help her travel deeper into the Mwangi expanse. She will confess that one of the reasons that she came in here was not only her interest in the Cyclops' ancient civilization, the Gold Gown, but because she was following in her father's footsteps. He'd done the same. And he had disappeared. And she finally found out that there are some ruins deep within Mwangi, where he was last headed towards. Is it dangerous to follow his footsteps? Sure. But she'd like to confirm whether or not he's passed away, which is very much likely. And maybe discover what is there. She'd use this as an excuse to kind of come and say goodbye and let you know that, all of you, that, your good friend, Jack Scrimshaw, learned everything he could from her and has taken over the shop in Port Peril. The boy is a master whittler, gunsmith. He's got a knack for magic. Help you out if you need something. She will also suggest there is enough living quarters to you, Rio, if you want to find a place to settle down with your child. That might be a good place to go to.
I think Rio will accept that offer, as the Shackles, as much as Revia turned out relatively normal, is no place to raise a normal child.
I mean, Port Peril is at least a little bit better. It's on the mainland.
This is a weird island with dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, the child needs a little danger in life, okay?
I don't know if Rio agrees with that.
Look,
This
you tried
child
out there,
already
right?
died once.
It sounds like a skill issue.
Holy shit.
I didn't say that.
Clip it.
Whatever doesn't truly kill you
It's a good
makes you
joke.
stronger.
It was a great joke, okay?
Whatever doesn't, gut you alive makes you stronger. Oh, I'm feeling stronger.
Yeah,
Pathfinder characters are Saiyans, period.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's very fair. Our island is currently developing, so,
Yeah.
But to be honest, if you wanted, good schools, you'd probably just, leave the Shackles and head somewhere else.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. This place sucks.
For now. It'll be better one day.
Maybe Rio will return.
Uh,
This is not the last you've seen of this plus 30 liar.
Mm-hmm.
what do you call it? In a new campaign, we'll see Rio's child as, a grown cleric or something.
Yeah.
Wizard.
Who knows?
Time.
Or coalism
will-
isn't very, blood transfer.
No,
you know?
usually
Did you get cursed? Or blessed, depending on your perspective.
Yeah, I mean, Rio did never say how he got his horrific oracle curse.
It felt a little personal to ask.
Spoilers, he drowned and died, and then woke up on a beach.
Oh, classic.
Good old Oracle. There
I hate
always
when that
really
happens.
awful stuff that happens.
He got to experience a very painful death, and then woke up with powers.
Yay,
What could be
Oracle!
worse? You could have had a very painful death and didn't wake up with any powers.
Yeah, his
Well,
soul
then
could
you
his
just
soul
get
could
that.
have gone to the abyss, which is the worst outcome for everyone. Just get eaten.
No, the abyss isn't the worst. It's the neutral evil one, because then you just get deleted.
Oh, true.
At least in the abyss, you have like a chance of becoming a horribly evil demon.
Yeah, it's like you end up as like something lesser for a while, and eventually
Like a drudge.
Like a
It's
drudge,
not great.
It's a pretty awful existence, but at least you're alive, I guess.
Your
mean,
soul's around still. You
look,
know, unlike being munched by a flip off or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
Flip on?
No,
Look,
it's what's it called?
I'm
Yes.
making a joke.
Look,
No,
I
I know
can,
you're
I,
making it
I
joke.
can't help but
by
I can't help but think of the devil's version of that lemur
Mhm.
because it looks like a pile of fleshy poop or something. It's like
dude.
it's a gloop monster.
It is a gloop monster.
It is meant to be punishment.
It's
I
pretty
mean,
awful.
like at least Dretch, you are not like pretty awful. If you
You
end
can
up
cast
as that.
thinking cloud once per day.
At
Like you can
least-
kill someone.
As a dretch, you aren't goop.
Yeah, it's true. Like that's the thing is there's a distinct advantage for having
You're not made of slime.
no,
You're not the
Maybe-
little droopy
Maybe you
boy.
want to be Slimer.
I don't think anyone wants to be Slimer.
no. Anyway, so time will continue to turn and pass on, and certainly time will turn in the shackles. Many of the major deals and kind of things that you kind of aimed for the shackles it will take time for things to take hold, and certainly in different ways and different things. The battle against slavery, which Yaalkol started, and which you and especially Revia, you and Tessa champion, will definitely make headway. It's not, you haven't completely gotten rid of it from the shackles, but certainly is a thing that is few and far between. And no reputable member of the Free Captains participates. Certainly you've drugged the Free Captains overall a little bit towards chaotic neutral. Honestly, most of the more evil ones were murdered off anyway in the ensuing battle. So, not that there weren't some remaining, some people that were taking advantage of the situation and stuff. But, I'll ask the question first because we had it. Where would Rio go?
Rio, I have to look at a map of this lovely inner sea region.
Did you go back to Tien?
He was never born in Tien.
Okay.
He
You're just
was
from a Tien
born
con.
in the shackles, but he is from Genza.
Absalom's a nice place.
He might just go to Absalom.
Yeah. Okay.
And probably because he is an incredibly skilled surgeon and doctor. Probably just set up a hospital or a clinic.
And powerful oracle anyway.
Yeah.
So definitely can find a way to Absalom and make well there. And so
To be honest, you probably have enough gold at the moment to retire.
yeah.
True.
So I mean, you probably want to establish something that can be like passed on and stuff too, a possible job or something. Like
But working is
It's not necessarily needed. It's done because it can be done rather than it's needed.
yeah.
Look, retirement gets fucking boring, alright? Especially when you spent your working life as a horrific sea marauder.
Yeah.
where you cast a spell to make an enemy crew eat itself.
Sounds like a great pastime.
It really is just like, alright everybody, eat each other! Okay.
In
Or
fact,
compel-
this
you know,
man
make
was not a good person.
You know, it's hard to be a good person as a pirate. You know,
He
usually.
may have been the worst person among the crew.
Magic's pretty bad.
You can do some real fucked up shit with divine magic.
Chester, you can
Yeah.
certainly have gotten your school established. The Dragon's Roost is a bustling, settled land. The main city, which is just aptly named Yaalkol.
That's terrible. I veto that.
I feel like that wouldn't get past the initial
You can
suggestion.
call it.
Okay, what did you want to
it
call
the
it?
roost? Like
The Roost? On the
Yeah.
Dragon's Roost, the capital, like, city
the
is the
Roost.
Roost. And
I mean, the nest makes a little more sense.
The nest,
The
yeah,
nest.
like literally anything but Yaalkol.
Yeah,
No
that's
offense, but, like that's terrible.
Also, it's, a
that's
bad,
what- wait,
it's
wait.
also kind of a bad
How about we
image.
split the difference? Yaakul's nest.
No, I don't want
No,
to
no,
know.
you're right.
doing
No, right.
that.
It's probably called something dragon related too. Honestly, it's probably like the Dragon's Lair or something. You know, Dragon's Lair, which is
The
a weird
Dragon's
name for a
Board.
city.
Dragon's Den, where
Dragon's Den.
Revia
Dragon's Den.
oversees
Yeah, there you go.
bizarre inventions. Fun.
Certainly the city has grown, and there's a couple of other smaller. The island itself has been well settled. It's renowned at this point in time because it's been many a year for its importing, or I'm sorry, exporting of domesticated triceratops.
Bizarre outcome.
And sure, why not parasaurs too? It's known for its parasaur cavalry.
It's Parasaur Riders.
Yeah, it's parasaur
Orphan
riders. Yeah,
This is just Torah.
you did just make Torok the island.
Is there a weird Civil War man who shows up?
Not yet. Maybe in the future. I can't remember the world that Turok's from, whatever the weird dimension's called. Fuck, I knew that one. Anyway, it's just kind of Turok. Anyway, yes. Yeah, you've had a good time establishing something which is honestly, school of... It's really a school of art, but it's also like, it's taken on this thing of its own that there's sort of like the beauty in, combat. And honestly, you attracted a bunch of folks from both, Senshu Bay and the Ushinawa Isles of, people that wanted to develop things like, artistic martial arts and stuff.
That is
So-
awesome.
Yeah, so you've developed something into its own kind of, like, school, a little different than you originally envisioned, but maybe a little bit more grandiose. It's been a few years since Ambrose passed away.
Rip to a real one.
I mean, it's been like a couple of decades, actually, at this point in time. I'm kind
Yeah.
of skipping ahead. And he was kind of old to begin with.
Oh yeah, I mean,
He was
it's going,
old
it was
and
going
so
to happen.
he was old and severely unhealthy.
He did shrink
He
himself.
had an alcoholism problem and no one helped him.
He had it
We
for
live in the
like...
shackles.
You,
Alcohol
in
is a good
fact-
pastime.
In fact, we enabled it more.
You enabled it.
Is there anyone in the shackles that doesn't have an alcohol problem?
Well, I mean, he had a real alcohol problem, like, you know, like blackout, drunk alcohol problem. It's a difference between, you know, drinking and like, thump.
Actual addiction.
Which he solved kind of on his own when he moved into the island, but like had a lot of probably internal damage done anyway.
His liver was very pickled.
Yeah. Those that took over his shop, you know, still remember you fondly, and honestly, you're always welcome there. still. His apprentices, kind of like the fellowships that he taught, kind of like people that are probably is the closest thing to family that you got, because you kind of like, Ambrose was kind of like that adopted father figure you kind of didn't really have.
Yeah.
But yeah, things have been pretty good on Dragon's Roost. Pretty good. Revia.
Mm-hmm.
It has been a number of decades, of course.
Okay.
And
Jeez.
things have gone well in the Shackles. Certainly, as I said, the big thing, of course, being the elimination, a very heavy elimination of slavery. The free captains privateering kind of thing that was kind of talked about. A version of that is kind of has been underway. And certainly, the power of the free captains and stuff has kind of altered and changed a little. Piracy isn't gone from the Shackles. That may never happen. But, it's kind of evolved and changed in a lot of ways. And certainly in a lot of fringes, you can still find your traditional pirates who are outside of the Free Captains Association, but they're on their own. Tessa had actually just announced that she would be stepping down soon as Hurricane Queen, after decades of rule, and has suggested you to replace her.
Giga-based. Yeah, I'm obviously going to try to become a Hurricane. That was always the dream.
I mean, it's been plenty of time to establish yourself very heavily. You're well renowned within the Church of Besmara. Probably one of the... next to Sandra, the highest ranking official. Sandra has taken over as head of Queen Bess in Besmara's throne. And head of the temple. And oftentimes invites you to the island for various important rituals to Besmara. And things like that. And it's seen that there has been a strengthening of faith, certainly, within the followers of Besmara across the Shackles in the last decades, too.
Yeah.
So. Myste. You talked of eventually heading home.
Yeah.
Of reason. You had the opportunity. After the final negotiations, and certainly there have been ups and downs within Cheliax, negotiating a rudimentary peace wasn't too difficult. The various civil wars and such that have rocked and damaged Cheliax's hold. Not completely gotten rid of it, certainly damaged it. Ensured that many changes would happen. You had your opportunities, and you were successful in the negotiations. And, you never did quite make up with your brother. But certainly, no one's looking for Myste.
Yeah. That's about the best outcome she could have hoped for.
And certainly, you do get the feeling that at least, he understands where you come from. Maybe doesn't agree with what you did, but at very least, understands.
I think Myste does try her best to keep in contact with Chester and Revia.
Yeah.
Her door always open to them, though if you visit, you would probably be greeted by the fact that she has children now. Has started a caravan, as she has been nagged to do for many years. Yeah, she just kind of just has ceased all adventurous activities and finally settled down.
I guess the one that would probably visit the most would probably be Chester, since Revia is pretty busy.
Revia is a busy person.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, all I have to do is manage my dance academy, so.
True.
And that probably
Chester
manages itself most of the time.
Can
Honestly.
Oh, yeah.
probably, honestly, learn some Parisian battle dance.
Ooh.
I have to just hire like a teleporter to take me up when I take it. Like every
At
couple
this
of
point,
years.
there's probably a teleportation circle
Circle.
Right, yeah.
to where Misty lives.
Whenever Jacub gets back, he'll make
Yeah,
it.
whenever the taxi service returns.
Yeah. But I imagine Revy is very busy, not only being leaderish, but like still adventuring.
Yeah.
Like, still a fucking pirate, bro.
Oh yeah, I mean, I still probably go out with you. I gotta keep my fighting skills, up to snuff.
There is one thing Misty does do eventually.
Mhm.
Probably kind of early after she left. She does send a message to Yaalkol. And that message will basically be along the lines of, I'm glad I didn't have to kill you, and I'm glad you changed your mind.
When would this have been sent?
This have probably been sent a year after you left.
Yaalkol will respond. I don't think I would have been capable of changing my mind if I didn't have such a good example of someone leading with their heart. Forgive me for what I said.
You will get an additional sending. She will accept your apology. And if you should find yourself in, I forget what city Misty's family's in, her door is open to you. As you are part of her family.
Yaalkol will give like a very current, thank you, all that jazz, and then.
So you're cool. Well, you're cool. You have found yourself on adventure after adventure after adventure. The initial quest to break the deal you had with Pharazôn, kind of end it, certainly was a challenge. The ruined continent of Aslan is a difficult place to pierce into. And it was an epic adventure that spanned many months, perhaps even years, to quest there and discover things. After which, having succeeded on that, of course you spent some time catching up with your sister, who had, turns out, left Galt and headed to Andorra, and messaged you to there and sent you to there. Basically, in the kindest of terms, saying like things didn't go well in Galt.
They never do.
They never do. She got out before things got really bad for her, but some of her friends are probably not so lucky. Oops. Galt.
The whole bit I had was that she basically was like some functionary in the government that survived from changing government to government, because she's like one of those people who just is like minister of like education or something. Like that wouldn't be necessarily the hatched of it throughout each education, each turnover. But yeah, I imagine her getting the fucking gold. That place is a nightmare. I didn't realize that they had they were like, hey, we didn't like the fact that when you died, you didn't die too permanently, so we did go ahead and take your soul. We have your soul trapped in this, and that's
They
you.
do have guillotines which trap your soul in them.
Insane.
Fun fact, it's pretty fucking bad.
And there's like a special ritual to break somebody's soul out of it, and only the people who know how to operate the guillotines can do it, and they probably won't because they're a bunch of monsters.
Anyways. They are pretty horrible there, those people that run it. Good old Gulp. Certainly your adventures took you to many corners of the world. You did a couple of other things. You continued the quest line of your watch/compass/ thing. You also ended up being the one to help out Plug and Scourge summon a giant monster to fight a giant monster that, no one really knows about, because your two ships combined together to summon basically Godzilla to fight, I don't know, Destroya.
So fucking cool.
Yeah.
You guys were like sitting there in meetings about administration, and it pans over to me. I'm just like wrestling a fucking sea monster while Plug and Scourge are fighting a separate sea monster.
I just imagine you like you're like on top of Godzilla's head going like go with like your hammer out.
Hard cuts to Revia just sitting there inside like a hot meeting room, just debating with somebody about whether or not they should raise taxes by 1 or 0.5%. Yeah,
you're so stupid. That's not how taxes work.
No,
what is wrong with you?
You're just yelling at this poor guy who's like a pirate now turned tax minister. I think if we raise the API 0.25%.
When I send you to collect the debt, you can't keep 100% of it. That's not how this works.
That's a finder's fee. I found all this gold in my pocket.
It's doomed. I'm gonna have to just tear it all down. It's over.
We're done.
I'm gonna just go kill a fucking clip off or something. That's easier than this shit.
But yeah, I would like to come back for Revia's coronation.
Okay. Certainly. You can arrive back having heard tales of a new Hurricane Queen being crowned. And a lot of people that have things have changed with. I'm sure that Myste and Rio will visit. And of course, Chester's still around, so Chester's going to be there. Cool will show up. Jacub, who did sort of come back and forth here, Jacub really came and visited more and helped you out when you needed magic things. But he ended up moving in to the Sea Elf city, not only to spend more time with his mom, but he had an opportunity to learn from some of their more powerful spellcasters and help develop his own abilities. Which he was a pretty powerful spellcaster to begin with, but there was a lot of spells and magic that he didn't know about, and he had an opportunity to study a lot more and kind of deepen his horizons on probably some older magics, which he reveled in the opportunity. And so he spent a lot of time doing that. Of course, Jungle Adventurer Nat will show up. Her tale will have that she did indeed find the ancient ruins, did some exploration of it, found the ultimate faith of her father, and has actually made some plans to head north and connect up with an archaeologist friend that she made, who is out of a very prominent college in Ustalov, in Lepidstadt. Apparently they have a pretty good archaeological group there, dealing with a lot of, horrible evil artifacts left behind by things. And unfortunately, Gul'dan in their ruins sometimes has stuff like that. So she wanted to, she's planning on dealing with some of that stuff. Catch you up on that. No sign of Quentin. But everyone else shows up for Revia's coronation. The new Hurricane Queen. Another change in the Shackles. Time will kind of slip by into the future. And of course, other important people. Of course, Myste settled down with her husband, of course, Lucian. But, Landless and Harsk will occasionally be around, but certainly, both of them will have, kind of, after what they helped out with in Port Peril, they ended up basically retiring with their people to try to help them. Occasionally working together, kind of helping cement. They've been working very hard to cement better relations over the decades between the Five Kings and Keonan, and secure basically a power alliance in that area. Because they're kind of near Galt, Rasmurian, and of course the River Kingdoms, and there's a lot of issues that happen in all those places. So, hey! Yeah. I'm just seeing if there's anybody else that I can mention that things have happened to that would be important. How about this? Is there anybody, any of you, can think of that you would want to know about what's happening?
Yeah, I would like to figure out what happened to my papa.
Ah!
Oh,
that is going to come up very shortly.
Okay, cool. Then I shall sit back and wait.
Trying to think of any NPCs that were what happened to the man who put on a fake shrill voice? Is he dead yet?
Oh, he was a half-elf, wasn't he?
No.
Did someone killed him finally?
No.
Did he stop faking his voice because he realized he was...
technically doesn't fake his voice.
No, he's doubled down on it. He speaks even more shrill now.
Yeah.
He ended up taking over the tower, since it was kind of eliminated from all the horrible, monstrosities.
Why?
God, why would you ever want to fucking...
so useless.
That island is cursed.
He got the help of this dwarf man who claimed to be an expert on curses.
Yeah, he threw the whole fucking tower
dead,
in the ocean.
Right?
What?
A dwarf just picked up the tower, tossed it in the ocean.
He did throw a lot of stuff in the ocean. He's like, this is cursed, this is not cursed. He doesn't actually know what's cursed.
He can't keep getting away with it.
He can't get away with it.
He does keep getting away with it.
What he does.
But he does. He keeps doing it.
Sorry, this has made me laugh. I don't know why. But do what he does.
Certainly, the Pirate Council has changed a lot. I can mention that, Cog's a member of the council now. You have seen people like Aranax took a step away. He kind of retired from the council and has done a pretty good job of turning Hell's Harbor and most of the Devil's Arches into a fairly heavy bastion of the almost, you could call it the military side of the Shackles. He took pride in kind of not being less of a... Basically took over a role of almost like admiral of the Shackles de facto military. Ensuring that should another nation decide to invade, the Shackles will be united very easily. That was one of the things that he pushed forward towards. The Master of Gales is still there. No one knows how really old that guy is.
He's
He
a
should
druid,
just be
bro.
human. He is a druid. They do live unusually long.
He's not adventuring out every day, so his life expectancy increases greatly.
Yeah,
I mean, that also helps too.
true.
Also, I think.
Hmm?
No, wait. In Pathfinder, I think druids do die of old age quickly.
Yes,
the
they
same
do.
as everyone else.
They just still get time
don't
to
get-
spot.
Yeah, they don't get penalties for age.
Yes.
So he could be in his 90s.
It's unsure how old that man is, but he is still on the council, and it has been. And he was kind of old, and it's been a number of decades. But you know,
He's buying Sun Orchard like elixir. That's it.
Yeah.
he doesn't spend his money on anything else other than Sun Orchid.
I read in Bonefist's bio, it says he's drunk 2 Sun Orchard elixirs already.
Yes.
Like, jeez, bro.
Uh-huh.
Man really wanted to stay in power.
Mm-hmm.
And then a couple of weirdos killed him.
Yeah.
He deserved it, though, to be fair.
He had a weird hand.
He got cursed because he was lame.
On a strange island to the south, where it is the water around it is heated permanently by volcanic activity, lies a unique and interesting base of operations that has secretly existed outside the purview of most of the Shackle's knowledge, save for a few in the council.
Like me, specifically.
Yeah, fucking tech priests down there.
Yeah, led by a united front of scientists from Alkenstar, a few members of trusted people you can bring in from Absalon because they can help with the guard work. And honestly, Absalon's probably the best country to ask for help from this kind of thing. Otherwise, and then
Just got the Omnisci at Chillendor South. It's all right.
yep.
They're, we get a benefit of their attack increases because, we're protecting them.
Mm-hmm. As they continue to kind of break down and try to understand ancient Aslanti tech/magic tech as best they can and break into the secrets. What will become of that lab? I don't know. Maybe something good, maybe something bad.
Not your problem.
Not. That's
Sounds
not.
like a somebody else problem.
That's
That
a
is-
different adventure.
That's a different adventure. Just like it probably could have been a completely different adventure of the Plug's Scourge and your cool
That's
adventures
like
in giant
Revia's
monster
kids'
fighting.
adventure.
But
I think in the end I get with what's his name?
The Fluff Boy.
Yeah, I think that's probably the end of it.
I mean, he'd probably be willing to settle down at this point in time. He was like, in
Oh,
his,
dude,
like,
we don't settle down. Sorry, I think you got the
Yeah,
wrong.
settle down. I mean,
How
like,
many-
you know, like,
How many
Kids are growing
decades?
up on the ship,
How many
bro.
decades post killing Bonefist would Revia's coronation have been?
2 or 3. I'll say 2. So
Okay.
20 years. after
Yeah.
that.
So by the time, I guess, Yaalkol would have probably seen Misty in person. Misty's fucking 60 years old now.
Holy shit, she's decrepit.
Yaalkol probably looks pretty fucked up. He's been on some crazy adventures. I have an idea.
Yeah,
like,
cool.
he
I
has,
will
like-
tell you, strange things have happened, of course, on your adventure. For one thing, you now have a large pair of draconic wings.
Freak.
And a actual dragon tail. You look more akin to an actual half dragon.
He upgraded.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
I'm
also-
not-
I'm a
Well-
little taller too.
yeah,
Let's
you're
say definitely more of a downgrade because clothing is more expensive and more annoying to fit.
Who says he needs clothing?
Civil
Yaalkol is basically
society.
almost always just wearing like a coat.
It's not legal in most places. Just hang dong.
Hey,
Who says he's
I'm
a
still,
turtle?
don't tell me what I can be.
yeah, I'm still like a couple decade, like I'm like a decade and a couple of years away from middle age still as a half elf, so I'm
Yeah.
chilling.
I'm
I mean,
50, and I'm
Concobar's a gnome. They live
Yeah.
very long. So he's just...
Gnomes,
they live-
he's gonna live until he stops partying, and then he's gonna fall down and die.
I mean,
They
honestly,
lived
he's been on
200 plus years.
he's been on adventures with Yaalkol. He's really keeping the stories and adventure deep alive in his soul. These are the kind of adventures that could maintain a gnome for a century. The stories he's gone on.
Yaalkol somehow looks younger than when he left. Yaalkol is more vital.
So it will be a wonderful celebration. It's as still like Revia, you are seen as a hero of the shackles kind of thing. And certainly it's very easy coronation, passing along as Tessa hands the crown off. It didn't take a lot to convince the council to vote for you, honestly. There really wasn't anybody that stood up to go against you. Sometimes there's a lot of this, but, with the retiring Hurricane Queen suggesting you, it does kind of allow that. And, Tessa was, kind of getting towards middle age, and she's getting much older now, so she kind of wants to actually just retire and, relax for her time and quit, for her remaining years and stuff. And she's around if you need her, but, she's already spent a lot of time here. But, everybody managed to catch up, spend a good time, see how everybody's been doing, talk about families and stuff like that. And Yaalkol, of course, has some business to attend to, more adventures to get back to. There's still a couple more things to do. As you're kind of heading back towards the Dragon's Promise, you'll run into someone who, honestly, you haven't thought about in probably a couple of decades. Hey there.
Just stop and look up at him for a moment. And then I'll gesture to the Dragon's Promise and say, "Suck inside." Now just walk up up towards the ship.
Yeah.
Head over to my room. Leave the door open behind me. Not not necessarily invite him in, but walk in, and I'll just grab a drink. Pour myself one, drop an empty glass and the bottle down the other side, and I'll sit down.
Yeah.
And look at him.
Concobar's going to come to the door and be like, "Captain, when do you wish to depart?"
I'm gonna need a couple minutes. I need to have a conversation with someone. I gesture at my guest.
I'll make sure we're ready to go when you're ready.
Thanks.
Well, you've done good for yourself. Much more than I could have ever said.
I'm doing fine. I'm digging myself out of the hole I buried myself in a while back. I'm learning that sometimes just doing the first thing that comes to my mind isn't the best idea. And it's gotten me out of a few scrapes recently, and so just been thinking a lot lately. Been thinking a lot about what you said to me back on the ship. And, whatever. Why are you here?
Well, I think I told you some time ago. I'd come and meet you when I finished what I had.
So you did it?
I'm free of obligations, at least for now. I'm sure there's always going to be something that, God, goddess, divine being called upon you for. But true obligations, got none. And I wanted to see you, your sister, before I go traveling. I've made some decisions. The group I've been traveling with now, most of them are orphans of the strange adventures we've been on. I want to find a place for us to maybe settle down, far off from the world that didn't really want me. We're going to be heading west. where it takes us.
That sounds pretty adventurous. I wish you the best.
I'm gonna, as I said, what does your sister do before? I wanted to at least say hello to you and apologize in person.
You know what? I was angry about that for a long time, but after what you said to me on the ship, I thought about it, and I think the whole time I was just mad at the world because I wanted this, like, idea of what a dad should be, like somebody who could tell me how to live, but I figured it out. I think you did enough. And honestly, I appreciate it. For what it's worth, yeah.
Well, cheers to you, son. I've heard tales of Grand Captain Yaalkol, master of all the seas, sailor of the 5 oceans. Word gets round of your misadventures. Of course, seems like you aren't the only one. Your old friends there seems to have their tales to tell.
Yeah. We told some good ones together. But, I think after a little while, people just get too big. One story can't have so many heroes. You know?
I know.
Well, thanks for, stopping in. And, hey. You see that there's two hammers I now have. I have a new hammer of blackened steel that I've gotten from some fucking thing.
Mhm.
I'm gonna go grab my original hammer, the one I enchanted, the one that I've been carrying around for a while. I'm gonna give it to him. I'm gonna say, not better than anything you're carrying, but it's me. This is the thing that protected me for all the years. This is my gift to you. Think of it as a token to say, good luck where you're going.
Thank you. I'll gladly take it and part ways with you. I'm going to say, I think it's not made of black steel. It's forged from the kaiju's claws. You're given a part of the kaiju's claw.
I love this. Yes. Absolutely, yes.
So it's like you were granted part from the giant monster for assisting it in battle, and so you forged a new hammer with it, because that just sounds more badass, honestly.
So cool.
So, Yaalkol will continue to sail the seas, going upon the waves. Revia will find herself as Hurricane Queen for quite some time, bringing more stability, more deals, continuing to change the shackles in ways that are a combination of like a little bit of what she originally kind of saw for it, but also like taking into account a little bit of the softening of the things that like Chester, Myste, Yaalkol had given. Myste will have found family and actually have continued to help establish a new city in Varisia, a new Varisian city. Since the settling of Ustalav, there hasn't been a massive attempt for Varisians to settle somewhere that was Varisian or Varisian, and having the opportunity and a great command over your people, you've had that opportunity to do that. A legacy to live on of doing something to help improve your people. Chester, of course, will enjoy plenty of time mastering your school and hearing tales of similar places popping up in some major cities in other places in the world. As your concept of it's not like it's never done, the idea of more artistic combat styles, but you're kind of wishing to kind of bring it all together in one place and like share the ideas, which probably wasn't your original idea, but it kind of evolved into that of like this melting pot of ideas, because the Shackles is such a melting pot of like random people. It helped make something new. Legacy for Chester. Everyone will kind of have their stories done. As we kind of fade out, and time ends, people pass away, and the world continues to turn and change. And perhaps that's where we'll leave it off. There's a couple of our long people. Maybe a cool didn't really get to come back when he died. Maybe he just got second life. Hard to say that.
Reincarnated.
More idea of like.
Sorry, Yaalkol kicks the bucket. Old age, has to live a second life, but this time as a boring office worker.
That'd be fucking hilarious.
Reverse season guy.
Well, since you get one comeback, my thought was, you're like on your deathbed, saying your last words, you die, you come back, you're able to finish what you were saying, and then you die again.
Wait, thank you, Phrasma.
Oh, I get to say what I was going to say.
You
smell.
You
I
die.
don't remember what I was saying because I died.
No, I saw demons.
Yaalkol dies, reincarnated, goes through, early life, appointed tax collector by Revia. Reborn into the Shackles accountant.
Oh, God.
I
The
am
New
the
Yorker
accountant.
becomes the greatest accountant ever known.
Best accountant ever. So yeah,
No, I like
37
tax
to
collector
accounting.
just because it's like, pay your taxes or die.
that's kind of where we will end the story. Definitely. Kind of got to thank everybody for joining me. Thank you, River, Momo, Sel, Joe. Thank you to those that couldn't join us, Henry, Umber, Lightning. It was very fun. I enjoyed all my time with all of you here for the show. I've thrown my shout-outs in all of these, but I think this is one where we're going to kind of leave it short. And one last thing that I'm going to bring in for everybody to kind of finish up today. So let me bring out a hat and bring us out one last time. For one last tale to end today. People would switch window seals here. Well, I hope you enjoyed all the stories. I know listening to an old man ramble on about things of the past. History changes. It's one of them things that a lot of you young ones don't really go for very often. I'm glad someone listened to all the tales. I must find my way once again. Head on. An old friend is coming to meet with me. Hi! Landless, you skinny boy. We should get going. Arr! Let me take my, let me say goodbye to you. This old dwarf knows how to spin a tale.